Hello everybody, my name is Michael and today's video is going to be a little bit different than normal. As you could tell probably from the title, it has to deal with the assassination of Charlie Kirk today in Utah. I understand if you don't want to listen to this video, feel free to turn off. I don't blame you. I understand it. You know, with how politically charged our country is or even our world is today, I get overwhelmed with the constant barrage of politics and everything too. So feel free to turn off. I won't hold it against you. I do appreciate you showing up. I thank you for listening as far as you have. And I hope you guys have a great day. And I really do hope to see you in the next video. So have a good one. Now, if you stuck around and you're of this one particular type, I'm going to have to ask you to leave too. And the type is the person who thinks that Charlie Kirk got what he deserved, got what was coming to him, that he wasn't assassinated, that he was murdered, that you try to tone it down or try to, I don't know, whatever. If you're happy that this happened to this man, you can leave. I'm not even interested in your opinion, so don't even leave a comment. I know you will if you do listen to it, because you guys can't help yourself. But rest assured, I think you're morally bankrupt and that you're sick and that you need help. So instead of listening to me talk about this tragedy, go get some help because you need it, because it's not a normal human reaction, not even a human reaction to feel glee over the death of another individual. So, like my niece says, GTFO, because I don't want you here. Anyway, if anybody's still here, thank you. I'd like to say, first off, I don't have any delusions. I don't think Charlie Kirk's family or anybody associated with Charlie Kirk will probably ever come across this video. But if they do by chance, I'd like to say my heart goes out to you guys. I'm not a religious person, so I don't pray. So I won't be praying for you guys. But I have a heavy heart from what happened to Charlie Kirk today. I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on just about everything. He argued from a very traditionalist viewpoint. And even though I think traditions are important, I don't think they should be so rigid and fragile that they can't survive progress. And that's where me and him disagreed. Now, I do kind of agree with some of the things he said, but for different reasons, from a different point of view, I guess you could say. And, but I would never wish any ill will towards him or anybody that thinks like him. I've only seen a handful of his videos on YouTube. They pop up on my shorts feed every once in a while. I did see him in a speaking engagement at a rally back in like 2018 or 2019. It might have even been 2020. I went to the rally and he was there. I didn't go to see him. I just wanted to go see what it was all about. And he was there. I listened to him. He seemed like an intelligent person. I just didn't agree with him. But it was a tragedy what happened, guys. I can't stress that enough. My heart actually hurt today when I heard it. It felt heavy. I actually felt it like hit the bottom of my stomach. And because he was so young. I mean, he was 31 years old and he just got married back in like 2020, 2021, somewhere in there. And he leaves behind two young kids, like their age like 3 and 1. And those two children will now grow up without a father because somebody out there disagreed with their father and decided to take him from them. And that's just, I can't wrap my head around that. That's just, it breaks my heart to think about. And, I guess that brings me up to my point. I'm gonna probably give my opinion now. It might reveal a bit too much about myself, but at this point, I think we all need to speak out more because it's like one of my favorite comedians who recently passed. He always said that it's never a battle of good versus evil. It's always a battle of good versus good. And that was Norm Macdonald. And I'm paraphrasing what he said. And what he meant by that was that the people on the other side, we don't see them as wrong. We see them as evil, but they're just wrong. They're not evil by any means. They don't wake up every morning and go, what evil can I do today to show how evil I am? I'm going to go kick some puppies and push some cats out into the water or something. They're not like that. They're not cartoon villains. They're people. They have different opinions. That's all. And a lot of people want to pretend that that's not what's going on, that they're evil, that there's some kind of inherent evil. Now, I'm not naive enough not to think that their evil doesn't exist. I think I talked about this in one of my other videos. Yes, I do think there's evil people out there, and I do think there's evil plans and people do evil things. But political violence, that's a different type of way of handling things. And when I talked to somebody earlier today about it, they said that, that's just the world that we have come to be, that we live in today. And that's wrong. That's the wrong attitude to have. It shouldn't be. This is America. We used to be better than that. And we can still be better than that. It's just, Andrew Yang, he was I don't know if you guys know him, but I think he used to work in the Obama administration. And then he ran for president a couple times. I think in 2020 and 2024, he ran for president. And now he's the leader of a new political party called the Forward Party. And I saw him in an interview once. He said that we need to turn down the temperature in this country. And I think that's true. I think the temperature needs to be turned down. I think the pots have boiled over. Because the political violence in this country is on the rise. And it's coming from both sides. It's these riots. It's these people going out and destroying Teslas and attacking Tesla dealers and storming the Capitol on January 6th. That's all political violence, and that all needs to end. Because, our forefathers gave us the mechanism to release the pressure in this country every 4 years. They gave us the ability to commit peaceful revolution every 4 years in this country. And we don't use it that way. We see it as some kind of life and death, final boss fight. Like every year, if we don't get our guy in for the next 4 years, it's going to be absolute hell on earth. And that rarely ever happens in this country because, believe it or not, the checks and balances do work, and they are working today. Even, I know they might not seem like they are, but they are. And not everything that happens is a tragedy. So if your guy didn't get in, go back to the drawing board. Figure out why he didn't get in, why people didn't vote for him, why didn't accept their ideas, and can then come back 4 years later and do it again. Go back to the drawing board, do it again, talk to people. And because that's another important thing I think we've lost in this country, the ability not just to talk to one another, but the ability to listen to one another. I know there's people out there that say stuff that is uncomfortable or maybe even offensive to you, but, it's time to grow up a little bit and, combat the bad ideas with good ideas. And because we can't allow stuff like this to happen. Not in this country, or we shouldn't allow, it shouldn't happen in this country ever. And I know it does. And that's unfortunate. Oh, that's what I'm trying to say. Be kind to one another. Listen to people. Talk to them. Don't get hostile with people because that's the quickest way to lose, an argument, or the quickest way to lose a friend is to be hostile towards them. Keep an open mind. I'm not saying keep one so open that your brain falls out, but, Just remember this: it's never a battle of good versus evil. It's always a battle of good versus good. Because I guarantee you, that person that you think is evil isn't evil. And finally, one last time, my heart goes out to Charlie Kirk and his family, and I wish you guys the best. And to anybody who's listening, I wish you guys the best as well. And I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great remainder of 2025. And one final thing, for my best friend, who had the misfortune of having a birthday on September 11th, I wish you a happy birthday, and I hope all your wishes and dreams come true. You have a good one now. For everybody else, have a great night.